As the splash screen just showed, we're here to talk about education options in Bartonville, Illinois, particularly of a Christian nature we'll get to. And now some introductions here. My name is Jared. I'm a father of 4 boys, all 8 and under. I'm the pastor of Bartonville Baptist. I've been discussing and praying with Chase and Amber of Freedom Bible here in town on the state of and needs of family and education. Humanly speaking, we're kind of talking about our own state of our family's needs because we're in that seasons of life. And so that's what brings us together. Kind of what's available right now does not fit what we ultimately desire. Now we're using things, but it doesn't fit. And so that's that shared heat that brought us together. And that's how movements for change happen. You have a shared concern, gets people to start thinking out loud, dreaming, praying, and designing. Now let me stay generic and pivot to you, my hearer here. Do you or others you know have the desired education option available for your family? Right? Are you asking these kind of questions? Are you working through this? Now, I'm trying to stir the pot here and get you thinking, because while still we can be thankful for public schools, private schools, Christian private schools, homeschooling, cooperative programs that get added onto homeschooling. Those are good options. They're going to work for family, and they're going to continue to work for families. However, I'm more and more convinced that there are going to be groups of family throughout this country that's not going to work for them. And so I particularly want to talk about Bartonville, right? Because here's the thing, the Christian private school is not next door, is it? It's not near work for many. And so there are cost concerns from the tuition and the logistics. The next level, homeschooling, maybe people have tried it and they feel kind of obligated to do it because it's kind of the Christian thing to do, but really it's not necessarily have to be. There's maybe many families out there thinking like, man, I wish there was another option that I could feel like I'm hitting the right faith convictions and commitments, and yet getting more some other things going on with how I manage my family's education here. And then let's face it, homeschooling, and then you add on the co-ops, it's just not possible for families where the parents work. The time commitments are not there. And with $4 a gallon, more and more families are going to be faced with what? More people working. So my job is not to fill in all the blanks here, hopefully not, but really just to kind of begin stirring this pot that we need another option here. We need a middle way for those, for families to help carry the burden. Design and bring something into existence that will meet immediate needs, and then can even be a torch that we pass on. And so that's why I'm reaching out to you, to find out if there's this stirring, this burden for education of your families here in Bartonville. Now, you'll maybe notice that I'm not talking about current headlines. That's not me just trying to keep politics out of it, though that can be a healthy thing. Now, my philosophy, borrowed, as it may be, I don't know who even give credit for, is that if we're only responding to headlines, we're arriving too late to the conversation. We're arriving too late. In other words, this endeavor that we are talking about here, that our dreams and designs should not just be responding to the latest problem out there. If that's all we're doing, then that means we're probably missing what's going on right here. And so we want to respond to the family's needs, and then also how this connects to their need to respond to Jesus Christ. Help them have this fit into their faithful following of Christ. And so, do you and others you know have this stirring for educational options? What's available? Yearning for more? If so, let me just share you some of the fruit of the current conversation and prayers. We want to design a middle way between homeschooling and Christian private school. We're calling it Freedom Family Learning Center. The vision is we would leverage a tried and true, decade-old online learning curriculum and platform that has a support system behind it, where it has educational standards, accreditations, accredited teachers doing the grading and keeping the records at a state level, state accreditation level. This is a system that we can speak into, we can help craft. The tuition off the shelf for this, the off-the-shelf tuition price is $2,800 for K through 12 annually. A K through 8 student is $2,800 annually. We're working on, we believe we can get that down from the first step down to $2,200 annually. Well, let me also say this, that this off-the-shelf solution is completely scalable and ready for 9 through 12, with giving them college classes. Again, the cost goes up, but that's there. But then the other side of this vision is that the families and the church families, they volunteer. They staff a traditional brick and mortar 5-day-a-week school. And so we would develop volunteer structures based upon the volunteers' availability. So that way the parents, and some parents may not be able to contribute during school hours, but will contribute after school hours. The point here is we're getting to a Galatians 6:2, families helping each other carry burdens. So I hope you're picking up that we're putting the family and the faith community into the center of the education. Again, that's not responding to the current headlines. That's a faith conviction before God. And so do you, or others you know, have the desired education option here in Bartonville? Or are you actually right now stirring like we are? You're praying like we are right now. If that's so, this is early on. Now, we could spin this up with just 2 families because it's an off-the-shelf solution. But we want to meet the needs of more families. And so hopefully this has piqued your interest. I'd love to connect with you, grab coffee, plug you into the next meeting, so on. I'll leave some contact information in the description. But I hope we can start to see if this is the next step for your family. Again, thank you for your time.